Welcome to Faith in the Quiet, where we explore how to draw closer to God in stillness and solitude. I'm Pamela, and today we're diving into the lives of biblical figures who encountered God in their quiet moments, often in the wilderness, away from the crowds, and in seasons of waiting. The Bible is full of stories of people who met God in their solitude. Some were running from their past, some were searching for direction, and others were simply seeking to know Him more. But in every case, God used those moments of stillness to shape their faith. The first biblical figure we'd be looking at is Moses. Moses spent 40 years in the desert after leaving Egypt before God called him from a burning bush. Imagine that. 4 decades of quiet, tending sheep, probably feeling forgotten. But in that stillness, God was preparing him for something greater. When Moses least expected it, God met him in the wilderness and gave him a mission that changed history. Sometimes our waiting seasons are really our training seasons. Another Bible character is Elijah. Elijah's story is powerful. After a great victory over the prophets of Baal, he found himself exhausted and afraid, hiding in a cave. He expected to hear God in dramatic ways, a powerful wind, an earthquake, a fire. But God wasn't in the noise. Instead, he spoke in a gentle whisper. How often do we look for God in the big, loud moments when He's actually speaking in the quiet? The last biblical character we'd be looking at is Paul. After his dramatic conversion, Paul didn't immediately start preaching. Instead, he spent years in solitude, learning, growing, and preparing for his ministry. Later, even when he was imprisoned and alone, he wrote letters that still impact us today. Sometimes solitude feels like a setback, but with God, it's often a setup for something greater. Maybe you're in a season of solitude right now. Maybe you feel like you're waiting, wandering, or wondering when God will speak. Be encouraged. God meets people in the quiet. He transforms hearts in the wilderness, and He prepares His people in hidden places. Take time today to sit in the quiet. Open your heart. You may find that God is already speaking. Thanks for joining me today on Faith in the Quiet. If this episode encouraged you, I'd love for you to subscribe or follow this podcast and share it with a friend. Until next time, may you find God in the quiet moments of your life.